Good evening, Kaid. It is Thursday, April 16th at 7 p.m. This is your Royal Thursday with your hosts, His Majesty Alexander and Her Highness Catherine. Good evening, Your Majesty, Your Highness. How are you doing this evening?
Good evening. Wonderful. Thank you so much for that introduction. We're here once again to give everybody the updates on Kaid. As you can see tonight, Her Royal Majesty is again unable to be with us. She is out being a hero. Yes, I will continually brag about her. My little nursing student is out today doing everything she can for all of us. So tonight, in her stead, we have Her Highness, Catherine. If you would like to have any opening comments, Your Highness.
Greetings, Kaid. It is a joy to be here. I hope everybody is safe and is feeling well. There's one thing I'd like to bring up just quickly, something dear to my heart, which is the scrolls. And we have a backlog of scrolls. So I'm really asking people that can make scrolls, if you please step forward and contact the scribe Marius, and he will be able to give you a beautiful scroll to work on.
As for how we're going to move forward here, current events as we are, for those of you who have not read the post, unfortunately, the events from May, as we assumed, have been canceled. It is an unfortunate thing, obviously, but we are trying to keep our populace safe. Throughout the SCA, this has sort of been echoed. Avakal, Antir, the West Kingdom, Atenveld, all these kingdoms have also basically done the same thing. Most of them have pushed back their coronations, their crowns, something along those lines. And a question that I seem to get frequently right now is, are we going to extend our reign? Well, this is a very difficult question to answer simply because it's a very fluid situation that we're dealing with. First thing I will tell you is we're obviously going to listen to our federal officials, the state officials, and our local officials to make sure that we're not getting together for our populace to be safe. And we want to make sure that also, as an example, those people who are high risk, like Her Highness, are also well taken care of. So will our reign be extended? If this were to go deep into the reign here and we were still to remain quarantined, my personal feeling is yes, we would probably ask the board of directors to extend our reign so that Her Highness is not put in jeopardy by being out in public, or also, since it's their first time reigning, getting a short reign. I would like to see them have a full reign. So we will probably ask them. My own personal opinion is a lot of the other kingdoms right now, in moving their dates forward, are simply going to either shorten or extend reigns by anywhere from 1 to 4 or 5 months. And then just have their normal coronation and crown. My thought process on this is, rather than screw up our SCA schedule the way it is, that we should just simply push forward this reign so that their highnesses can then reign on the other side of the calendar. Again, none of this is written in stone. We have to talk about it with a lot of people yet to make sure that we're going to do the right thing, that everyone is, as many people as we can make happy are going to be happy. So what happens when the quarantine is over? How are we going to do that? Is there anything that we can look forward to, anything that we can do? Well, there's a lot of questions. Again, with this being such a fluid situation, we have to figure out how things are going. I know there has been a lot of talk and things that I can tell you that I have heard. As an example, they're talking about allowing smaller groups to get together rather than larger ones. And this may simply just change the way we do things, especially here in Kaid. We may now have to pre-register. I know for many of you that's a shock, but we may have to pre-register now, and there might be a cap on it. So if you are not one of the people who pre-registers in time, you might not be allowed to go to the event simply because we'll be limited on numbers. Just something that I have heard being thrown out there. We will have to comply with many of the local rules. So as an example, it was brought up to my attention that Hawaii, that particular area, could be completely open up to the public again, whereas Kern County or San Diego might not have that luxury. Would we do events there? Will they change? Will it move locations? Again, this is all things we're going to have to be fluid with, and we're going to take them one step at a time. Hopefully, I can give you all some comfort in the idea that we have a team that works on all of these questions, and it's not just me coming up with the best guess that I can for Kaid, but we all sit down and try to come together to see what will be the best path forward for all of us. So unfortunately, a lot of I don't knows and a lot of our best guesses. When will this be over? When will we be doing these things? Again, best guess. We've been told right now that through Avocal, as an example, has pushed all their events out past July 31st because that's when they feel it is. They've taken the most aggressive measures thus far. Hopefully, we don't have to go that far. We are, again, going to listen to our state and local officials to see when they say we can get back together so that we can meet with family once more. I would like to remind everybody again, online court, yay, April 18th at 1 p.m. Caid will be having its online court. We're very excited about that. On this online court, we would like to remind everyone that we'll be using Zoom. Zoom is the app that we have been told we should use because it's easiest for us to record. There are several things that the bot has demanded that we do to make sure that this is done appropriately. We would ask that you go to Zoom and try it out before that particular day. If you can, see if you can use Zoom, because obviously we won't have time that day to tell you how to use it, how to be correct. When everyone joins in, you will be muted right away, so we won't be able to hear you, I'm afraid. Certain people will be mic'd on, if you will, by our lovely producers once they are in need of talk. However, even though we won't be able to hear you, anybody will be able to see you. So please remember that people are going to be able to see you. On that note, we would like everyone to dress in garb. Put on your Sunday best and see if you can come up with a wonderful background. We'd like to see all of those. These will be looked at later. This entire court will be recorded and we'll play it online afterwards at the Kingdom page. Speaking of the Kingdom page, before we go on to our online court, from 12 to 12:45, there will be a pre-show. And this pre-show will give you tips on how to use Zoom, some information for the upcoming court, things along those lines. It'll be going from 12 until 12:45, at which time they will tell you where to go and how to get there. So please tune in for that. I also like to always assume that when a camera is pointing at me that I am hot mic'd. So even though we're going to mute everybody, there might be some technical difficulties. Please keep that in mind. Watch your P's and Q's and don't just say anything that comes to your mind, because you never know who might hear you. And wear pants. I'm assuming he's talking to everybody but me. Moving on. The Blue Tond, as I was told is how it is appropriately pronounced, Artisan of Caid, is kicking off to a great start. We have been told that we have about 42 entries. That is amazing. Simply amazing. Again, that's going to be on April 25th. The submission deadline for those of you who have already registered is going to be April 17th. Please remember that. The Arts and Sciences page is right here, right now. And then also, folks, for those of you who are bored out of your skulls, try to remember we extroverts aren't doing good. I don't know about the rest of you, but I'm hunting down my mailman now, trying to talk to him from 10 feet away. We're just having a rough time. But if you need more conversations, there is Live from Caid at 7 p.m. I know after this particular broadcast, we also have, I believe it's Altavia, puts on a little Zoom get together if you want to jump into that. So if you're like me and you're an extrovert and you're missing your SCA family, look around on the Kingdom page, because there are a lot of us that are connecting on Zoom. And of course, Royal Thursday is every Thursday at 7 p.m. And that is all the information that I have for everybody today. Your Highness, do you have anything else you wanted to put out?
No, I think that's about it. Everybody stay safe and hygiene, hygiene, hygiene.
So do we have any questions today? I'm not sure if she's muted or if it's me, but I can't hear her. Well, I can't see the question. So do we know if there's going to be a people cap on Zoom? Yes, there will be on the people cap on Zoom. We have 300 people that we are allowed in. So from those 300 people, that will be our cap for Zoom. Wow, we're running all over the place. Please feel free to get on there as quick as you can so that we can get as many people on there as possible. We're hoping we don't hit our limit. And we're also sort of hoping that maybe if we hit that 300 limit, it might be like most of the things online that it might go, hey, you want 400? $5.99 and you can get 400, and we'll just click on that.
So how are you faring in the quarantine? Are you finding that you're able to keep the royal family occupied and in good spirits?
Your Highness, why don't you answer that first, and then I'll answer.
Well, several things I have found out about enforced isolation. I have to admit, when it came up, I thought this is going to be a great time to do all my spring cleaning, and there's little jobs around the house that have to be done, caught up with, and everything. So we started off doing that, and the house still isn't clean. I don't quite understand that, but
We have children here.
oh, and it's time to make a load of largesse. So I've been making largesse for myself. Oh, okay. And then I've been finishing up all those half-started projects I've done and everything. And then Amazon had a sale. I spent the entire day on Amazon. It was absolutely incredible. Got a load of boxes in our front room now. I don't know what to do with, though. Anybody need any boxes? But no, that's about it. Is that enough? Oh, no, wait. Exercise. Now, this is something, Alice Guy, I know, is exercising on a daily basis, and that's really great. And every time she puts it up, I think to myself, ooh, I should be doing that. So I got out there and decided we would exercise yesterday. We went on a walk, about 2 miles, and then we did about half an hour jazzercise. And then today we've been sitting down a lot. I had a hot bath. That did help.
I have decided that 3 children is too many. I only need 2. I'm going to get rid of one. I'm pretty confident. That I think if I just lose the middle one, who's going to notice? That's where I'm going with it. As I said, I'm an extrovert. I am now frequently pinned up against the front glass of my house, looking at people that randomly walk by. Hello, hi. Would you like to talk to me from a safe distance? So we're struggling through with the rest of you.
Well, we miss you guys as well. Lady Kalita is asking, are your squires working on your shrine? And somebody else followed up with, do you like shrines, Your Majesty?
Oh my God, I need a shrine. I just found out that I'm not going to say who it is because I don't know if that's appropriate or not, but there is a knight that I highly respect, and he several years ago had a shrine made to himself and carried it around at events. And I think for a narcissistic person such as myself, what a wonderful idea. I need a shrine. Oh my goodness. I got to have one. So yeah, I'd love a shrine. They're wonderful.
And then it looks like there's several suggestions for for fundraising by selling or auctioning off your middle child.
That's a great idea. And if need be, once we auction off the child, I will cut them into smaller pieces and send them to you so that they're easy for shipping. That's where I'm with that.
Oh, goodness. Meliar is asking if the populace will be able to see the arts and sciences entries for Bloton.
I believe that is absolutely going to happen. I can tell you that's something I definitely want to happen so they can see the entries that are in there. I have been lucky enough to get a sneak peek of a couple of them, and they are unbelievable. So they are truly amazing. So we're definitely going to get those up one way or another for people to see. So the Brutonde artisan competition, people are going to be able to see those. In fact, I believe there is a populist vote for the winner of this. So I think that they have to see them then.
Absolutely. And then let's see. Oh, some people want to know, inquiring minds, what would your shrine entail, Your Majesty and Your Highness?
I think not having Her Majesty here to slap me, I think it would be best of me to decline that answer because I don't want to get hit by my mommy or my lady. Probably not a good idea. People know what should be there.
Then I've not seen any more questions. Do you have any advice for your populace on how to treat your extroverts and introverts in this time?
Extroverts, get out onto these Zoom meetings. Oh my goodness. It helps. It truly does. It doesn't take away that we have to touch and bond part of it, but it does help when you're talking to people to get onto these Zoom parties and meetings. And they're all over the place. If you're not sure where, just throw your name up there. We'll find you. Just, hey, I'd like to hang out tonight, and someone will contact you. For my introverts, people think they don't need this company, that they don't need this connection. But I can tell you, I have a lot of introverts that live around me, and they are very quietly reaching out because they too need to have the connection. So we're shooting to have that connection for everybody. With my introverts and our extroverts. So don't be afraid to throw your name out there if you're needing that contact. We all need it. Unfortunately, this has to be through video chat now.
Yeah. And of course, the ever-lying question. What kind of toenail polish do you have on tonight?
I seem to get this question every week, and it's interesting that it does change weekly because I have a daughter, the eldest one, who I'm going to have to keep, not be one of the ones I sell, who does my toenails. This, in case you're wondering, that's how this actually started. She was doing my toenails one night, and I inadvertently sent the Faiza, her Grace, a picture of my foot. I was trying to send it to another friend who happens to also start with an F name, and she got it. And she accused me of sending her an unsolicited foot pic, which I would never do. I don't send anything unsolicited. And please don't ask. But tonight, I would do a handstand for you and get my toes up here, but I've been told I'm not allowed to do that anymore. My toes are a lovely shade of purple in honor of the Faiza.
Lovely. And then Monsieur Giuseppe is asking for both Your Majesty and Your Highness. In all of this isolation, we've seen some amazing things that the SCA people have done to keep the spirit going. What have been some of your favorites?
I will let Her Highness answer first if she's got something, and then I'll chime in.
I think the way the people have stepped up to make the teaching classes is wonderful. The online teaching classes, and the dancing, of course, from where was that? Mid Realms. There we go.
Yeah.
That I thought was wonderful too. And I'm really excited that we are in the process of doing something to combat that.
For me, it is the honestly, it's Zoom, weirdly enough. I was not a user of Zoom, but I have actually now met some people from different parts of the kingdom that I have never spoken with before. Our social circles just never clicked. And now suddenly it's opened up to this huge amount of people that I'd never talked with before. And now I actually get to see and have conversations with them. So that's been a really nice change for me. Although when she was talking about the dancing from Mid-Realm, and everyone's putting up videos now, and I love all of them. I think they're absolutely spectacular. But I don't know how the rest of you feel. The only problem I have with that is I feel personally challenged by every single one I see coming from these other kingdoms. Like, we must respond. So I will try to curb my my competitive nature and not respond to every single one of them. But we are doing the dance video.
Wonderful. I look forward to that. And hopefully we get some new information on it soon.
Very, very soon. There should be stuff going out even as we speak.
Excellent. I'm not seeing any other questions. So do you guys have any parting words or anything you want to say? Actually, we do have a couple that just popped in, if you don't mind.
Oh, feel free.
Okay. And the first question is, what kind of largesse do you not want?
Is there largesse I don't want? I can't think of anything that I wouldn't accept.
Unusual jellies or jam. A true story. During my first reign, we were given this very unusual flavored jelly, and the container it came in looked tremendously old. And we were told by our predecessors that they had received it as well and were re-gifting it to us. Well, we thought that was amusing, so we re-gifted it to the next reign, and I just got it back. So unusual jams and jellies. I appreciate the effort, folks, but they're not well loved apparently. So no jams and jellies. Well, not unusual jams and jellies. The other ones are eaten usually pretty quickly, but
I think maybe just to say, if you were a recipient, is that the right word?
Recipient.
Thank you. If you are a recipient of the largesse that you are making, would you be glad or happy with it?
Make things you'd be happy getting.
Yeah, there we go.
Always sage advice. All right. Your Majesties, and Your Highness, I don't see any other questions. So
Excellent. Your Highness, do you have anything you would like to part with?
Stay well, and we'll see you soon.
We'll see you Saturday online at 1 p.m. I hope to see everybody. Thank you all so very much for tuning in again. Ariana, thank you so much for coming in and speaking before us tonight, for being our voice. Laertes, as always, thank you for all the amazing help you've done. At Kalita, I know she's out there. She is the best. She takes care of Her Majesty and I. She checks in us every day. Her and Larissa, we could not do this reign without you. Thank you all so much. My daughter who's behind the camera, my sons who are back there helping out, grabbing things. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Salute, Kaid.